Hi everyone, my name is Josh Rogosin. I've been an audio journalist for 25 years, and now I'm pursuing global sound concerts, capturing musicians where they're from to learn about their culture and to get the sound and the experience of being in all of these wonderful places from all over the world. So welcome to Global Sound Concerts at Genelec. Yeah, there's something about recording tiny desk concerts. We don't use the PA, we don't use any in-ear monitors or even wedge monitors. So it's working with musicians to listen to each other organically in the space. What's special about the Tiny Desk Concert Series and now the Global Sound Concert Series is really the intimacy that it creates. When you remove the PA system and you remove the in-ear monitors and you remove the wedge monitors, there's something that happens in the musicians' minds where they all have to listen to each other in a very visceral, organic kind of way. And I think when you remove that technology, it kind of it removes a barrier between the audience and the musicians. It removes a barrier between the musicians and each other that is very rare in these days of every kind of technology available at our fingertips. Yes, so during the pandemic, the Tiny Desk Concert Series, everyone was submitting their concerts from wherever they lived in the world. And I loved that idea. I felt very inspired to, after 10 years of recording 800 Tiny Desk concerts, wouldn't it be interesting to travel where the musicians are from to learn more about their culture through their music? And so I was really inspired by the home concert series at Tiny Desk to take this leap of faith and to create global sound concerts and record musicians in the same style that I sort of honed and perfected. I don't know about that, but, worked towards making my own brand of sound and take it all over the world. It doesn't only have to exist behind the tiny desk. It could exist in all these different locations. So what I found is that traveling, you find incredible, wonderful music everywhere. And that's part of what I want to expose with Global Sound Concerts is that no matter where you go, there's beautiful music being made. And it's truly inspiring. I really love musicians who just are passionate about what they're doing, and they're not doing it because they want to be famous. They're not doing it because they want to perform in front of hundreds of thousands of people. They're not doing it because they're getting paid a ton of money. I really love the artists who are just doing it for the love and the passion. And that's what I'm doing. This is an independent project. I'm not being sponsored by anybody. I think, working with the musicians with Global Sound Concerts to find an iconic location where they're from that means something to them. I was recording Carla Grundwald, and we were trying to find a location in Santiago de Chile. And, we were going through all these different options, maybe this park or maybe this environment. And I was luckily staying at this beautiful hotel called Hotel Magnolia in Santiago, and I was speaking with the staff there, and they said, actually, we have access to a palace that is sort of abandoned, and let's show you some pictures, and do you think that would work for a location? I shared the photographs with Carla. She said, oh my gosh, it's perfect. And we all got together, recorded this beautiful session, which I highly recommend you check out, called Carla Grundwald. I really like recording music with as little equipment as possible. If there's mic stands in the shot, I try to get them out of the way and so where are the mics? I can't quite see what's going on. I also might record, a 7-piece band with 8 direct lines and then my ambisonic mic from Soyuz that I use to sort of pick up the environment. And I was at Soundcheck Expo, which is this wonderful music conference in Mexico City. And I was giving a presentation about my work at Tiny Desk and now at Global Sound Concerts. And someone in the audience, Klaus Tremley, he saw my presentation and said, "I love what you're doing, adding the visual component to immersive audio. Do you think I could remix some of your Global Sound Concerts just to try into immersive?" And I actually just for the first time today heard the Carla Grundwald that I was just speaking about. I also heard the Chachahila. And it was just such a treat to hear the potential of what the series could become, especially, with YouTube and with Samsung and with Google embracing this new immersive codec called Eclipsa. But it's really interesting where the technology is going. And I think this project, even though it's a simple way of recording, I think it lends itself so beautifully to immersive audio. Because I want to transport the viewer and the listener to all these different locations so that you really get a sense of what it's like to be there. And, using, of course, your audible sense in addition to your visual sense, I think can accomplish that in a really unique way. I love using different monitors to check my mix. So, I might be in the shower and I have a little mono Bluetooth speaker in the background playing my mix just so that I can hear it in that context. Or I might be, riding my bicycle to work and I'm listening on AirPods. But, the true test is if I can get into an isolated environment with some good monitors, usually from Genelec, so that I can test what that sound is like. And because, I'm brand new to the world of immersive audio, coming from, broadcast radio, a lot of which was in mono, and then, of course, with Tiny Desk production on YouTube, I graduated to stereo, and, of course, with Global Sound Concerts. And now meeting Klaus in Mexico City at Soundcheck Expo, he sort of opened my mind. Wait a minute, there's this whole world of immersive audio that will work beautifully with my project. So I have to get on the bandwagon and figure out all the technology, of course, to be able to mix and immersive and create a visceral experience for the user, for the end listener. Yeah. To everyone out there, whether you're an audio engineer or a musician or an enthusiast, just go out into the world and try stuff and try not to feel intimidated that it might not work or this might not be a good idea. Just, try to come up with an imaginative idea and don't be afraid to try it. And because you never know what's going to happen.